So day 7. Day 7. What do we do? So we started up in, what's that city called? It starts with an E.
Eagle, whatever.
Eagle, whatever. And that campsite was okay. It has all the amenities that you kind of need for camping out. And yeah, it's a very small city. It's considered the capital of the East or something like that.
Wait, Egilsstaðir is a small city?
Yeah, comparison-wise, for me, it's like we're from New York. It's a small city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is considered the rural part, or one of the rural parts of Iceland. And first we started off by driving over 93 over this mountain to start the day to go to this city with the rainbow pathway to the church, and also is the city with where the ferry, the European ferry, stops there as well. But that drive over that mountain was like I don't like doing that drive, especially if there's a cloud going on. A clear day is perfectly fine, but when it's not clear on that mountain, it's it's scary. Just like the day before, on day 6, that was scary. Couldn't see very much in front of me. So we're driving up, driving, get over, and then we see a fall on the other side. So which one was that one?
Foss.
Foss. Okay, so
wait, yeah.
Is that one?
Yeah. I think. I'll look it up while you keep talking.
Yeah, and it's right off the freeway. I didn't see a sign, but I think you said that.
Oh wait, you talking about Gufu?
It was Gufu.
That first one.
The first one.
It's Gufu, yeah. Gufu.
Yeah, Gufu, yeah. Alright, so there you go. I leave it up to you to get all the facts straight in terms of these named places. And it was a fall right off the freeway. Right off the freeway. And if you miss it, you will miss it. But it's right off the freeway. It actually has several different levels, but the main level is what you can really see from the freeway, and that's what we hiked over to. And you can go right up to it.
Yeah.
Right up to it.
Yeah. It's like less than 10 minutes, and you can be right under the fall, pretty much.
Yes.
So, and it's very pretty.
Yeah.
And it's going pretty full blast.
Mm-hmm.
A nice flow.
Mm-hmm. A nice flow, yes.
And it flows onto a rock, and then it like splatters, so it's very pretty.
Yeah, it's very pretty. And got some good footage of that while we're there. We were there for a while, actually. And even then, the city that we're heading to, I forget the name of that city, but it has this gorgeous view of that city from that location. You see the fjord and everything. Just about everything in Iceland is beautiful, but worth a visit and check out that particular waterfall. So after we're done getting all that stuff, we decided to head back, go all the way down, go check out that little town where the ferry to Europe is at. And I thought about going over to Europe when we were planning, and then found out that it takes 2 days to get there. I'm not going to go ahead and do that. Because they stop off at the Faroe Islands, and then they go on to, I think, Denmark. No, not Denmark. It's Norway. Thank you. Goes over to Norway. But yeah, that's a different trip, so not gonna happen. So after that, Rainbow Church. It's right between. There's like this rainbow brick road. Rainbow brick road, thank you. That goes all the way to the church. It's gorgeous. It's a wonderful. It's great to take photos. It's very short, and it seems like also a very artsy town too. So on top of that, but even though it's short, I love the color of this particular town too. Like the houses around there are painted these vibrant reds and blues and yellows and all these different colors, and it's just kind of like, oh, it's gorgeous over there. It's very photogenic little town, so definitely worth a small little visit. But yeah, what else you got to say?
Yeah, that's about all we did at that time.
Yeah. All right, and then so we turned back around and headed over to go find some food. And luckily for us, because we didn't find any food while looking around, you were trying to find fish and chips, and that was busted as well. So we didn't find it. The place that you wanted to go check out, unfortunately, they were going to take a long time to go make it, so we're like, nah, forget it. And then while she was going in to go check that out, I decided to call up a restaurant called Nielsen. Nielsen is a nice little restaurant, and I found out that it was actually started by the guys who started Dill restaurant in Reykjavik.
And Dill is famous because they got a Michelin star.
Yes.
And it's actually not guys who started the Nielsen. It's a guy and a gal.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Who started Nielsen.
All right, fine. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. I am not saying it correctly. You are correct.
Just getting the facts.
Yeah, it's totally fine with me. And it turned out to be one of my favorite meals during this trip.
It was good. What did you have?
I had the beef. It was like a barbecue beef, and it was like this stew with rice and a small little salad on the side, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Very delicious. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
I had the pan-fried Arctic char, which seems to be the fish and the way they prepare it at a lot of places around Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
Pan-fried Arctic char. Okay.
Yep. That's what they have.
That was really good too. It's served with potatoes. I think we both really love the potatoes. The way they make, like they're the little potatoes.
Yeah, little
the baby fingerling potatoes, but they're round.
Yeah, they're round.
Baby potatoes.
Just baby potatoes.
Yeah. So delicious. It goes with everything. So my fish dish was served with that, and it was really good.
Yeah.
To have it with the fish and the sauce that it came with. And we got dessert, which is not something we always do.
Yeah.
But it was a meringue with chocolate sauce served with ice cream.
Yeah.
And we both got lattes, which is quite a treat.
Yes.
So that was very good too.
Yes. And the lunchtime menu was good.
Oh yeah, so good.
Yeah. And they write it on a piece of butcher paper. And I noticed that they crossed off a lot of stuff too. It's like, oh, we're out of this. Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like we're going to try. Nope, we're done. Don't have that either. So we're going to make it out of this. But it was delicious.
Yeah, it was good. The staff was great. Yep. So after lunch, we anything else about lunch, please? Or ego?
No, not really.
Yeah. All right. So after lunch, it was a beautiful day, beautiful sunny day, pretty warm too.
Yeah.
Which is, to our surprise.
Yes.
So we drove down south, started making our way south to a waterfall called Hengifoss. And the unique thing about Hengifoss is it's got this striated kind of rock layers formation that forms the curve of the
basalt, not basalt. Oh, some of it was.
Yeah, some of it was basalt.
Yeah, basalt. It's like basically lava flow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a hike up. Partway through, we were like, "Is this really worth it?"
Yeah.
But there's also falls along the way as you go up. And I think there were 3 falls, 3 or 4 falls. And as you go up, you're like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." All right. And you meander your way up, but it feels like it's like 45 degrees, or maybe more in some spots. But it's like 45 degrees, and it's just like hike. And at one point, you're saying, "Are we there yet?" And we were like, okay, we'll just go around this one corner and see if it's there. If it's not there, then we're gonna turn around.
Yeah. But we kept going. We kept seeing it, and we're like, just a little more, just a little more.
And then boom, there it was.
But we did, on the way up and down, we had to cross kind of a wet part of the river.
Yes.
We had to cross the river.
Yeah. And yet another fall was delivering this water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we successfully made it across the river, but on the way back down, crossing it, I feel so stupid when this happens, but I stepped on a slippery rock and I fell. But I was fine. I fell. The impact was spread evenly across all 4 limbs, so I didn't get too hurt. Yes.
And I didn't film it, but
did not film.
Yeah, I was like, oh. And so now both of us have gotten hurt in Iceland.
Yes, but nothing too bad. So
yes, nothing too bad.
That's good.
Yeah. So the first, but I got hurt at was it Dinjanji?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I slipped because I did the stupid thing of wearing just regular sneakers up that thing, and I knew I should have worn my hiking boots because there's like a little section of the path up that's a little bit rocky, and my sneakers basically have no sole on them anymore. Like there's nothing on them.
Yeah.
So I stepped up just at the right spot, and then I slipped and fell on my butt and bruised my elbow. So currently my ego is bruised because of that too. But it's okay. I shall move on with my life. It's okay.
Yeah. So Hengifoss is done.
Yes, Hengifoss.
I think we got quite a workout out of it. We were sweating on the way up because it was really warm, like in the mid 40s, I think.
Yeah, well, that sounds about that. Yeah. Maybe. I was actually in a t-shirt.
Yeah, you were in a t-shirt.
Very rare in Iceland. I was just wearing a t-shirt. Usually I'm wearing like several layers, and ripping them off if need be. But most of the time I leave them all on because it's windy and cold. But that's what we like.
Yeah. So Hengifoss, once we were done, then what?
I think that was it. Then
it was just driving.
Yeah, that was just driving. We need to make headway, and we have to choose between taking one route, which is the ring road, Highway 1, or take this other route, which is more dangerous because it's an unpaved path through the mountain or through a mountain, and we have to choose.
Yeah.
So,
but we would choose the rough road because it would save us. It would cut our driving time in half, basically.
Yeah.
Like from 4 hours to 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yes.
So.
Like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Danger or safety and time?
Yeah.
We went for danger and speed.
Yeah.
So that's what we did.
Yeah. And thankfully the weather was relatively calm.
Yes.
And we didn't really have clouds. Major clouds that we need to drive through.
Yeah, it was weird because when we started out, it was sunny, and then as soon as we go, because the other great thing about Iceland is that they have webcam pictures of the freeways to show you what it kind of looks like, and I looked at them and I said, yeah, that Highway 1 looks really, really foggy. That doesn't look so good to me. And the other path actually seemed a little bit more clear, so even though it was going to be unpaved, slightly more dangerous, so to speak, why not go that way? I mean, we already went through the West Fjords, and that was crazy. Way more dangerous than anything we've ever seen along the ring road.
Yeah, so glad we went that way.
But at the top, a reminder of why it's important to drive safely in Iceland. Because as I was driving, I noticed in the distance something that didn't look right on the road. And then as we got closer, it was like, oh, someone flipped their SUV on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. It's hard to imagine. For me, hard to imagine how you flip so that you end up on the side of the road, in the ditch, upside down.
Yes. Yeah, they flipped that vehicle.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I hope they're okay. And luckily, the two of them, they were okay. We drove up, checked up on them, just to see how they're doing. I said, hey, how are you doing? And they're like, oh, we're okay. Neither one of us are hurt. The police are coming.
Yeah. And then they actually basically said, thank you, bye.
Yeah.
I think it was a couple. It was a young couple, and they looked a little upset. And I think maybe a lot of people stopped to ask them how they were doing, and they were fine, and they were just tired of it by then.
Yeah.
So they thanked us, but then they were like, thank you, bye.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, you need to be left alone. You're fine.
You're fine.
So bye.
Bye. Talk to you later. And they said the police were coming, and I was actually surprised because we could, as we were driving down, we actually saw the police car coming.
Yeah.
And they were blowing through that road like there was no other. So in Iceland, any unpaved road, I believe the maximum speed limit is 80 kilometers per hour. They were definitely blowing well past that, flying up that mountain. There's a big, huge dust storm kind of billowing from the back of that car. And it was kind of interesting to watch the police car. But if you call them, they will come. It also brings up the whole entire thing that that young gentleman brought up. It's like jurisdictions, the different jurisdictions associated with the different people who take care of Iceland. We have the police officers who take care of anything that's related to traffic, the roads, that kind of thing. So if there's anything that happens there, they need to help them. The police are the ones to be called. If someone goes out into the wilderness, then they have a volunteers team that helps with that. And actually, that young gentleman that we had spoken to at that
at the Hoof campsite.
The Hoof campsite. I can't even say it correctly, but yes, the Hoof campsite. He is actually a volunteer rescue person, and trained to kind of help with rescuing people who are stuck in the middle of nowhere. So I was like, oh, this is really interesting. And then the last one is actually the Coast Guard. So if it's by water, then they're the ones responsible for handling that. So each group has their own jurisdiction. Anyways, so we're making our way down the mountain, and then we found yet another fall that actually was kind of cool looking.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember what that one.
Folaldafoss.
A lot of fosses. Whole lot of foss. And by the time we reached the bottom, it was foggy and we were hungry. And we said, okay, let's try and get into Höfn and try to get into the city, and let's try and get some food. That was a fail.
Yeah. The restaurant times posted online are all long and off, and we didn't call ahead. So got to this restaurant that was supposed to be good, but they were closed.
Yeah.
Their kitchen closed already. But the bar was open. So so we're like, oh no, this is the last restaurant that's open.
Yeah.
With food that we wanted to eat.
Yeah.
And then
where can we go? And lo and behold, N1 saves the day. It was a gas station.
Yeah.
That's very ubiquitous here in Iceland, and hands down, we were. Okay, I should say it this way. I had very low expectations for N1 food, but my past experience with N1 food was like the hot dog. Good experience, very good experience. I'm actually surprised, but I was not expecting food to be that great at an N1 gas station.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. I mean, fresh. So we ordered fish and chips, and also I got a cheeseburger with béarnaise sauce. Fish and chips was freshly fried, and it was good. The fish flaked off nicely, and it's juicy. It was actually juicy.
Yeah.
And we watched the lady make it, so it was very good.
Yeah, and it's not just like not like they have some guy in the back making it either. It's actually the cash register person making it for you, or that one designated person. And she did a darn good job. I was actually surprised that fish and chips, that fish was fried to total crispiness. It's very good. Actually, I thought it was probably. If you ask me, I'm sorry, hon, but I think it was actually one of my favorite meals in Iceland. Sadly, especially when you're hungry, you're like. But we still have yet to go get fish and chips from a reputable restaurant.
No.
That's not N1. This N1 may be just kind of like a fluke, and we just got lucky. May have just got lucky. And that burger was good too. Burger was good. And they give you these packets of salt flavoring as well.
Yeah,
for
seasoning
fries.
for the fries.
Which I thought was really good as well.
So since the following morning we have to take a COVID test for our flight back to the States, and we aimed for the city of Höfn because there is a COVID testing center there. After N1 fish and chips, we went to kind of scope out where the medical clinic, the town hospital is. We found it, and then headed back to the campsite, the town, one of the campsites in town, and we checked in for the night. It's a really nice spot. The campsite is a really nice spot, right on the water, views of the mountains, and like right on it, and just pretty calm. Nothing like today.
Yeah.
Really calm, really nice view, and so we checked in, and
So, and then after that,
you took some drone.
Huh?
Didn't you take some time lapse that night?
Oh, yes, I did. There's some, and because the location of this campsite is it's just a gorgeous location, especially because there's like really a couple different sections of the campsite. One section where it's by the street. Don't go there. There's a section behind the office, and then there's a section behind that parking lot area, but the lower section is more protected from the wind, and the other higher section is less protected by the wind, but has a gorgeous view of some mountain. I don't remember the name of the mountain, but it's just gorgeous. So I took some time lapse of that, and that was well worth the time to do that. So I was like, this is amazing, especially in the morning. But
So that was day 7?
That was day 7.
Hi.